All right. Oh, what the? All right. Let's do it for real this time. Uh, invite. Ah, the sun. That's so nice. Is she here? Yeah, she's
Fabi!
oh. Hey, sometimes it's hard to connect sometimes, right?
Oh my gosh, I know, but oh my gosh, what a joy to see you, Fabi. Look at all that sun on your skin. You're just
I
like
know.
radiant and glowing.
I was just gonna
Uh,
say we're gonna watch We're gonna watch the sunset together and talk.
oh, how nice. How nice. The sun has kind of already disappeared on my end, so I'll be happy to watch it through the camera with you here. Oh gosh. You know, when you have one of those moments where in this digital age that we're in, like connections should be so easy, yet still we have these fun challenges just to kind of, spice up life a little bit, right?
I think so, yeah. It's very strange, yeah. I mean, they had the same trouble before technology, maybe.
Mm. What did you do before technology? Just telepathy?
Oh, that's a big question. I was doing magic. I was a magician.
Oh, you were, weren't you? Oh,
Yeah, yeah, I
I've
was.
never heard this story, but I so have always wanted to ask you about it, so I'm glad you brought that up. Can you tell us about the magic? I love magic. I do. I used to watch like Penn and Teller on YouTube. I was like, oh,
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I
yeah.
love them. They're great. Yeah. I mean, there's not much to say about magic. Like, I think, yeah, there's like, every time magic is brought up for me, it's like there's still like a little bit of a pride coming up because it's like when I was younger, like starting to express myself or whatever. And I found magic as a thing when I was 10 years old. And then
Mm,
I was just starting to play with like, old people showing them magic tricks because they had time.
yeah.
Usually old people are very present. So that was nice.
Oh, cool.
And then I did like one show, and then I was really like loving being on stage and feeling. I think I really actually enjoyed that moment of fear of going on stage.
Mm.
And then suddenly the fear goes out. It's like, wow, it's powerful. Like so much emotions when you're on stage. I like that. And
Mm.
then magic was my thing. I think I could have been singing or whatever. But
Mhm.
and then yeah, I think in terms of magic, one thing I liked about the thing that I did was I was also a dancer, so I never really did magic like others. I was
Uh-huh.
also trying to like incorporate dance, so I ended up doing like a show about like Leonardo da Vinci.
Ah,
It
oh,
was
I
not like
love.
magic. It was not like a rabbit out of a hat, you know. It was different. It was more like a show, like a stage, like a you know.
I feel like you would have told a story with it. I feel like you'd have like really painted a picture and just, you know, blew out all the walls here and just like there's no like, none of that normal stuff.
No.
We're gonna really expand the mind with this show.
Should I? Should I? It's really fun to like play with the stories we told each other, you know?
Yeah.
And when I looked at this little like Fabian or whatever his name was, uh,
Mm.
uh, it's like it's scary because it's almost like I can see I have posters in my room because
Mm.
when I was doing magic shows, you have like posters when you go from one town to the other.
Yeah.
I was touring, like I did 10 years of magic touring and
Wow.
I got so many prizes. I was like European champion and all that. And basically you have a lot of posters and I still do. And the funny thing now with all the spiritual like journey or whatever is like it's almost like seeing like a dead kid on the wall.
Yeah.
It's horrible. And then you
I
have
knew
some
you'd
of
paint
the
a picture for us, Abby.
but and people around you in the family they still hold on to that image
Oh,
of the little.
yes.
And
Yeah.
when you look at it, you're like,
Mm.
this is a dead person. Like, why are you holding on to this dead person?
Yeah.
This little like 5-year-old Fabian is dead.
Yeah.
It's no
They're not
longer
here
there.
anymore. We've
Yeah,
expanded and become someone, a
yeah,
different, a re-becoming,
yeah.
you know.
I mean, I feel like we can. I think this talk between you and I, we can go emotional. I love. Like,
We
we don't
could,
have
I
to.
love emotion. We
Like
can go
yesterday with
wherever.
Jerome. Yeah,
Oh, you were Jerome yesterday?
yeah, but it was very cool. It was a different talk. What about like
Yeah. Oh, I
the
love
road and
Jerome.
yeah,
I saw some of the highlights on your reels. And it was funny actually because just now, like whilst we were figuring out the camera and kind of what we were doing here, I was just live on my Instagram and I was just sharing like how did I meet you? When did this kind of like because
the
I
feast,
really huh?
pranic feast or no?
Yeah, it was a pranic feast. We called it a pranic initiation, and that was the thing that kind of like drew me in because it was back in February of this year. It was only a few months ago, really. I know, right? It seems so much longer.
Wait, oh, this February?
This February is my first pranic
Wow.
feast with you, and I just remember I'd seen on Ella Tom's Instagram that he was going to be a speaker, right, in this pranic, and you called it pranic initiation, and I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I love that word initiation. That's what I do. I love initiation, and I was like, okay, yes, it's time to embody. I was like, but what's prana? I don't know what prana is, but I'm sure I will find out. And
Seriously?
yeah,
Wait,
yeah,
you
because I'd
you
not
didn't
heard.
get into it because of prana. You got into it because of the word initiation. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I got into it because of the word initiation. Because that's like in this lifetime, I'm like, I'm all for like the kind of that death and rebirth, death and rebirth. I'm like, and becoming and rebecoming and remembering the true nature of who we are as humans and what we are capable of if we just move everything else out the way, right? So it was the word initiation, and I was like, yeah. And then and then I signed up, not having a clue what it was, and I thought I'll figure it out when it starts. And then I got this lovely message from you, Fabi, saying, "Hey, are you joining us?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Who are you? What's this? Okay, great. What do I need to
Yeah.
do? Oh, lovely."
You
So,
did it too. You must have
yeah.
felt called for it. Like because
Oh, so cold.
okay, yeah.
Mm,
So that's what it's about too. Is like it's not like you didn't know about prana or initiation. It's just inside you. There's like a
mm,
pull, the pull
yeah.
from grace. Grace
Mm.
pulling you toward that. Beautiful.
I love, Fabi, how you talk about this, or I've heard you speak of this, and this is my interpretation of what you say sometimes is kind of like, you know, who are we? Who is the me and who is the I, right? And, like when I feel this calling, okay, but which is the me that felt that calling, right? Was it
I
my
don't know.
mind? Was it my body? Or was it the super conscious?
Where is it?
Um,
Where is it?
or
Did you?
I
I
know.
don't know.
Have you found, is it behind, is it your shadow? Like, where is it? Is it the sun beaming down upon your face?
Yeah. Like the sun is not there. It's a projection of my mind.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing. It's like you would not see the sun without the eyes.
Hmm.
And like so the real sun is not the sun, is what's making your eyes see the
Yeah.
sun. And then what is it that's making your eyes see is your mind, and what is it that's making your mind see is your consciousness, and what is it that makes your
Hmm.
consciousness is
Hmm.
it's like yeah. It's crazy.
It is. I love that because there is a group that I'm in. It's called Seeing Blindfolded, and we practice seeing without actually using the eyes, right? And what you
Yeah,
just said there is emphasized so much because you start to see see in
yeah,
real time, right? But it's funny because when it first starts out, it's like blue and red kind of electricity that you somehow are still perceiving, but your eyes are fully blacked out. So there is no light entering this space. So how do we actually perceive it, right? And
yeah.
it's
I did like
fascinating.
I've done like dark room a lot, like dark room, and
Mm,
that also like brings a lot of like new senses when you don't have the eyes. it also feels like other senses are like being developed.
Hmm.
So yeah, and then of course, like the inner eye, that is the reference. It's
Hmm.
the only one that can see really.
Yeah.
And so
Let's see who's in the chat here. We've got Cam, and oh, she's saying, "I love prophetess 444." Um,
who's that?
I don't know, someone that maybe has oracular vision and connection to this wonderful numerology because of her
Ah,
name,
yes.
prophetess.
Wow.
She's saying this is funny, and it's better now that it says invitation, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? Absolutely. I think it is a little bit more welcoming. I was like, I don't think everyone's as hardcore as like, yes, initiation. That means I'm gonna die at some point and kind of rebirth in this process of a weekend. So yeah, invitation's a little bit softer, hey.
It's a softer
And
thing, yeah. Because I think we might have more people this time, so I think it's important that everybody knows that okay, you can just ease into it, do a little bit of like
yeah,
a do some dry fasting. No food, no
yeah.
water for maybe like a day, maybe
Mm,
two.
mhm.
But I think if you really want to rebirth,
Yeah.
you gotta go past the 3 days. You need
Yes.
to go past that.
That was very evident when I did my first one because the mind, you don't realize, right? We don't realize uh, how much power we give it in its autonomous state. You
Mm.
know, it kind of just goes on its own until we really start to notice and go, hold on, where did that come from? Did I think that? Am I actively thinking that? Like, what am I feeling right now? Am I this feeling? What's happening? You know,
I
until you go,
understand the mind. Like I do not understand the mind. Like, I don't even
no.
know most of the time. Like how is that all possible? Like you have crazy thoughts showing up, and like there's a period in my life where I was really studying Carl Jung, and like I was
Mm,
writing my dreams. I was trying to like really go down to that path, and it was really beautiful. But
mm.
eventually, you come to the conclusion that um, you're just creating more drama. Like
Yeah.
most of the thoughts and most of the drains, let's just put it simple for most people actually. Most of the drains have crazy going thing for them. Like
Uh-huh.
there's always some crazy thing going, and sometimes it can go from one thing to the other. Like this is what the mind likes to do. It's gonna pick something like, okay, I'm gonna take banana.
Mm,
I'm gonna take this person that I saw in this movie that I saw, and I'm just gonna make a big crazy thing in between. So then
mhm.
it's like you're just like swimming with bananas, and your friend is picking you up with a car, and whatever. Like dreams like that.
Mm,
Sure, you read Carl Jung, you're like, oh, there was water. Water. What is the symbol of water? Which is great. You can. But basically, what happened to me is just eventually I was like, if the mind just can come up with so many thoughts that have no sense at all, then that means that during the day it's the same thing.
mhm.
So like whatever we do during the day is literally nonsensical.
Yeah.
Just
It's just
total
this
like
space. It's this blank
yeah.
canvas.
Yeah, but we don't realize how it's just meaningless.
Mm.
And that's where the joy comes for me, is to realize that always, like every time, just going into like the seriousness of it and then being like, oh yeah, of course not. Oh yeah, of course not. This is like the movement, the dance of Shiva for me is just like you go
Mm.
into the seriousness of life and then you're like, no, seriously, no. No, no, don't try.
Ah, so is it the dance of Shiva or is it the Shakti Shiva? Back and forth,
Yeah.
back and
Yeah,
forth.
Shakti is the thoughts.
Mm.
And Shiva is just killing the thought.
Yeah. I was just
Yeah.
looking at all the beautiful greenery behind you. I'm like, oh, it's so lush there. You're in
Yeah.
France right now, yeah?
Yeah.
Ah, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. We have Fruit of the Spirit 111. I love all these number codes that we've got coming up on here. Prophetess 444, Fruit of the
Uh,
Spirit 111.
yeah, so the discussion about numerology. No,
Oh, yeah, we could
actually,
do. We could do. I do numerology. I mean, and so
yeah.
does Camilla in a different way, where you do. Camilla, what's it called? What's it called? The thing that you do. Write it in the comments for us. But yeah,
I
no, she's just saying withdrawing from the matrix is necessary, and yeah, because the matrix is just that collective thought pattern that we've kind of allowed to, passively create our reality. So we've not taken accountability for what we want to kind of create. We've just let someone else do it for us and gone, oh, I want to be a victim to that. It seems
Yeah,
more
but
easy to be a victim to that.
I'm liking that too. Now,
Yeah.
now, now, because I think before I did any pranic feast or before I did any like Sadhguru initiation, because
Mm.
I've been told with the initiation word with Sadhguru,
Yeah, I
and it's
bet.
true. It's like, oh my God, this is great, and then it's like, no, it's just whatever. And but after you do this, you don't see the victim the same, but you're still
Yeah,
playing the victim.
yeah.
And it's fun to play the victim as long as you know you're playing the victim. But
Mm.
many people just don't are not aware that they're
Yeah.
playing the victim. That's the
Can be
difference.
very triggering. Can be very triggering for someone to say that, like to hear that said about them.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, I find it. I
Like
not for me.
when
Not for me
everybody's like,
personally.
"I'm
I just go,
busy, I'm
yeah.
busy." Are you really busy? Are you? Are you actually like thinking every 5 seconds that you need to breathe? No, you're not
Mm.
busy. You're not trying to keep up with your life. You're not.
Just
You're not at all.
filling your space and choosing priorities. It's like it's okay. Just that's a priority, and that
But what's your
ranks higher.
priority?
And
I think my
yeah.
priority is to breathe. So are you taking care of your priorities or you're not? Most people don't take care of their priorities. Like your real
My
vitality comes from the
priority
breath.
is to breathe. Oh my God, Fabi, I love you. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, people don't really like the body will breathe, but like that intentional breathing as well, right? Actually working with that breath is a different thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just loving this so much.
I mean, I think I've seen people like breathing intentionally too. I've lived with
Mm,
them. And I would say one thing about the breath, you don't really have to do anything for
mm.
breathing to happen. So anybody who thinks that they're drawing more prana by breathing hard, no, you're not.
You efforting that breath. You're forcing that extra
Yeah.
air into you.
Even when I used to talk with the Raki about this
Mm,
sometimes, pranayamas are like you trying to take control of the breath,
mm.
and it's cool. It's like
Yeah.
Kundalini, also yoga. Like you
Mm,
trying to take control of the breath, but
mhm,
you gotta watch out and just kind of not also just do it, playing it as a role, but
mm,
not like in the end, like really thinking you're in control of the
mhm.
breath. You're not in control of the breath. And so you're not in control of prana, or you cannot be in control of anything. Yeah, and
But what
so
is what is control? Like, because this is a word that can crop up every now and then in today's world, depending on where you're tuning into, of course. Because some would say that, well, if you don't control the breath, does the breath control you? Well, no, isn't that kind of a warped mentality? Does there have to be a control, or is that just is that
it's a control. Yeah,
yeah?
I would say it that way because like sometimes you just have to make like real like
Mm-hmm.
decision, clear cut decision. The matter
Mm-hmm.
and the four elements, the puppets, like your
Uh-huh.
body, which is a puppet of the four elements, are in control.
Yeah.
Totally. In this dimension of like, you're totally a puppet of those four elements.
Mm.
It's just the perception of them and the reaction to them that makes you feel joyful or free or whatever. But everything is cause and effect, and it's not like a
Mm-hmm.
scientific talk. It's not like scientific saying what I'm saying. It's just like
Well, science is an interpretation, though, isn't it? It's an interpretation. Like
it could
whenever,
be, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Every individual, because there's always going to be contradictions in science. You have one thing that says one person says one thing, one person says another, and that can be both the same thing, but they feel
But
like they're
you know,
contradicting.
when Moses is splitting the water,
Uh-huh.
it's a dream in the mind. That's kind
Mm-hmm.
of what it was. People take things literally from the Bible, from Moses or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But this has never been literal. Like the Buddha, whatever is written in books, these are imagination.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
But we say that we say that, but people don't fully like link that we started this conversation out by saying the whole world is a projection, the whole world is a
yeah,
dream and imagination at the same time as well, right?
yeah, yeah. Of course, you are living in your mind. So even everything here is your mind. I think this is where the tricky line is. Like there's no difference between the body and the
Hmm.
mind.
Yeah.
It is the same thing. So the body is not, it's just to relate more to people. I tend to say that because I learned this with the ashram with Sadhguru that there's a spiritual like movement of people trying to get out of their body and
Mm.
and with that guru, for me, it was how to enjoy your body, but
Yeah.
not being a body. Like
Hmm.
you have to understand, you're not the body, you're not the mind, but enjoy the sensation of it. Uh,
Yes.
and getting outside your body is kind of like trying to escape the sensations.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It's an addiction in its own way. It's an escapism addiction, you know?
Yeah, it's trying to go somewhere else than here, and that's
Yeah.
like you're not happy with the body you have. So this is
Hmm.
a problem. So this is where you, yeah. So for me, when I say that you are totally a puppet of those four elements, and you are,
Yeah.
they are in control. It shouldn't be like a. It should be joyful. It's a
Hmm.
fun thing. That's how I see it. It's fun to be observing the elements within you, just like
Hmm.
changing everything. You
So you
know?
feel that fire rise, you feel the air move, you feel the waters, come in and go out like the tide, you feel it all, you are it all. And it's just like, wow, look at what's happening right now. My inner fire. Oh my God, I'm ignited right now. What is this? Oh, it's fire.
Yeah.
That's what that is. Um,
Yeah.
s- there was a comment before, I can't quite scroll back, but I want to kind of bring it up again because it was really interesting because I love how you talk about sensation and experiencing. And one of our friends on here said they referred back to the black room, the dark room that you spoke about, and they said,
Yeah.
if you want to be in that space, you've got to be like really kind of you got to really befriend kind of your nervous system because your nervous system freaks out and goes, "Oh my God, I'm panicking,"
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I love how you talk about feelings and sensations and emotions. Can you kind of like just give us a little Fabi love on sensations and when someone's panicking, right? What is that to you?
I was having this feeling when we drive fast, when we did the feast last time. It
Mm,
was in April, February, but I was having this moment where suddenly I was lying down, just kind of waiting for the next workshop, and uh, suddenly there's like a whole body, like I had a gut feeling. That's how you would call it. I had a
yeah.
gut feeling like I was gonna die in the next 2 minutes. And
Mm,
so what happened is that your whole body, like the sensation starts to like grow as you bring your awareness on it. And that works with anything. Like if you
yeah.
observe your breath, you will start like observing, like, and it will multiply you. You will be more peaceful and all that. But as I was observing the emotion of fear, I
Mhm.
started like basically bringing awareness on it and building it up. So the whole body started being afraid. Every cell in my body starting being like afraid that they're gonna die.
Mhm.
It's the same feeling as like what I was saying with the magic trick. Like you're going on stage in front of a lot of people, all that. It's the same feeling also as if you're on top of a building and you're about to jump a cliff, or
Mhm.
like if you're like on top of a cliff, jumping a cliff.
Yeah.
It's a feeling of like everything is about to go.
Mhm.
And at that moment, I mean, I'm thankful that, the practices got me to like not care as much about the sensation and just observe them.
Yeah.
Like I said about the dreams, like for me, there's so many confirmation that help me realize that nothing makes sense.
Mhm.
So if nothing makes sense, like you go inside a forest and you're trying to make sense of the trees.
Mhm.
Like if nothing, how much of a torture is it really? It's like
It
looking
is. It's
at
that
the cloud and
it's
it's like, oh, this is the mother of this cloud and that's the sister and this is the brother. And it's like, who cares really?
yeah. It's like
It's
we're
just,
moving it away from once again from actually being in our
yeah,
body and just and feeling, right? And just
yeah,
experiencing everything that's
yeah,
flowing through us and around us. We're kind of projecting ourselves out to those clouds and going, huh? And you're like, no, no, come back to the body, come back to right here, you know?
yeah. So in a way, this journey did not take me from being like a god. It took me right back. It took me right back to being nothing. Oh, so
Mm,
nothing at the same time. But it took me right back to like being the most normal person on earth. I
yeah,
want, I'm doing that, and I'm okay with it.
yeah.
Uh,
I think we can find in today's world. I mean, if you look for it, I guess, but I think you can find that there are people that, you know, they want so much more, right? They want so much more. They want to kind of be recognized and be famous or be this and be that. And you're just kind of like, okay, well, that's your stuff. That's great.
yeah,
But like, where does true joy actually lie? Because that's just a whole load of external validation, right? That's going to need to, like an addiction, like that's going to need to constantly feed in. But when we come back to being present within ourselves, you know, it's like, what is the purpose of life really, other than to witness it as it does its thing?
yeah. You cannot hold life.
No, it's like
Like this is
grasp.
the crazy thing. Like you cannot grasp, you cannot hold joy or whatever. It's like some
Mm-mm,
people believe that they are a container and that
mm-mm.
there's life in them, but no, life is just everything but nothing at the same time.
Yeah.
And
What if it's you that's in life?
yeah, so it takes a lot of energy to want to hold something. And
Yeah.
imagine your container, like just even the thought of it, like just this is what I do most of the time. Like now I'm not really looking at myself as a container. Like it's even weird most of the time, like to look at the screen and see like a face and be like, okay, sure, sure. I try to like make this thing real. I'm happy I'm blind because like I mean I'm blind. I'm like I'm happy I'm like I wear glasses because everything
Mhm.
is kind of blurry most of the time. So I'm
Yeah.
like okay I'm always on my phone.
Mhm.
It's just like I'm not dealing with it. My dad bought me glasses one day like a year ago, and I
Yeah.
was like, I had not worn glasses in like probably years, like a few years. Like I was driving even in countries I didn't know without glasses and permit. That's just crazy. I'm
Yeah.
still alive. Just to
Yeah.
say, this is just life wants you to be alive. So
Yeah.
I went back to my dad without glasses, and my dad was like, "It's been 3 years without glasses. You should have some glasses." Okay, sure. So I go, I do my glasses, I put the glasses on, and I'm like, "Oh, you put the glasses on after like you receive that? You look at the floor. I
Uh-huh.
had the glasses on, and I'm looking at the floor with the glasses on, and I'm like, oh, this is disgusting. Like he has not cleaned in so long. Or
And I'm walking barefoot on
yeah,
that.
I'm looking at the face, and I'm like, oh, he's horrible. So
It's better being blurry.
no, but the thing is, when the mind can like see very, very like precise details, it's gonna
Yeah.
try to judge everything even
Yeah.
more.
That's what the mind
So,
does,
so
right?
the best is that if you don't see anything, there's no judgment. If you're not there, everything is
And
okay.
then use just your facial
Everything is
expression and
okay.
you're like,
Yeah,
I can see you perfectly clear and you look lovely. So there's no judgment coming from
I
here.
don't
But
care.
maybe that's I know, but that's the great thing, right? But maybe that's a judgment. My judgment is that, oh, I'm loving what I'm seeing here. But then again, I've projected that, right? That's what we started out by saying. I've
No,
created
this
that.
this here, honestly, like this
Mm,
this thing here is not as like. I mean, yes, it is. You cannot say this as this, but
mm,
it's as interesting as like the grass that I'm seeing right now. That's like tripping on its own, or like the clouds that are just so. It's just it's just, what, yeah. I
yeah.
mean, beautiful.
We have Fruit of the Spirit 111 saying, your I think that's meant to say your branches will not reach the sky if your roots do not go deep enough underground. And I'm like, it's so fascinating because it's that polarity again, right? Yeah, absolutely. To reach up, we got to go down and vice versa, and then we come back to center, and it's like we stretch out, we come back. You know, you're looking at the grass, and you went straight to the clouds, right?
I definitely did like go far in the extremes in my life. Like I
Yeah.
definitely went to like the extremes of addictions and drugs and all that
Mm-hmm.
money and all that stuff, like to the opposite ascetic life and
Mm-hmm.
and uh and none of those extremes were the answer.
No.
The answer was like in the middle,
Yeah.
just like just normal life. You're going to the bathroom and you shit.
Mm.
This this is the most spiritual experience ever. Is if you can just like meditate in the bathroom while you go.
Yeah.
This, I had like that was my first. first interviews in
That's how
Thailand
I'm
with
gonna caption this video.
you
The
should
most
like
spiritual experience is going to the bathroom for a shit.
and shit. Yeah, this is. I'm telling you because the moment is just like so un un undefinable
Yeah. Let's just
and
meditate while we're doing it.
magical.
It'll make it even more perfect. Oh
Yeah,
God. So, Fabi, there's a couple of things I really want to ask you about whilst we have this beautiful opportunity to be live with each other. One of them is the incredible hub that is now created, the Pranic family website, and the other one is the Pranic Feast, which we've touched upon. But I really want to give it some airtime because, wow. I don't know if I have any other words than wow. The version of yourself that you allow yourself to become when you go through a pranic feast and when you commune and connect with others who are doing that collective energy of
yeah,
focusing and enjoying, qigong and breathwork and meditation and just connection and ecstatic dance. I know you love your ecstatic dance. And now I know why when you said you did magic and dance.
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
Tell us about the Pranic Feast.
Well, I mean, to me, the most important thing that I was trying to, this was my, personal little like, like
Yeah,
personal, personal of a person. Which person are we talking about? I don't know, but
you
anyway,
choose.
whatever. But like from like the past journey that this little me
Hmm.
ego thing that just imagine it is.
Yeah.
Apparently, it did like Sadhguru, and
Hmm.
when it was over there, it felt like quite amazing to be around 4,000 people
Hmm.
who were just like letting go together of everything that they thought they were, and just like being there for each other, for the
Hmm.
greater, like, for love and for the joy. And that to me is like magic. And so I'm guessing I don't know why I got onto the pranic path, but I got on there.
Yeah.
It appears that right now this is what's happening, like pranic feast, and so cool. But in the past, like I told you, I was doing magic shows, so I was bringing people on stage together always. I was never alone on stage. Like I always want to bring people together because I think I really rejoice and I'm nourished by the consciousness of a group
I was
coming
just gonna
together
say
and
that's
shopping.
still a
Yeah.
Pranic Feast when you were on stage as, young Fabi, right? That was a Pranic feasting
Maybe, but
day.
I was
Yeah.
eating a lot of
No
pasta.
shit.
We're not gonna eat anything in this running feast. So it's a little different. Um, but yeah, I mean, to me, I know so many people like watching or rewatching later, or even like people like on Facebook that are in dry fasting groups. Like I know so many people are just happy to share that they're doing it, and yeah, I'm on
Mm.
this many hours and I'm doing this. But to me, yeah, sure, everybody could do it alone. But why would you go and like share it like publicly? I mean, it's way more. I
Mm.
feel it more powerful when we come together and
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
And because it's not about the
You're
fasting, it's really about the
experiencing.
love.
Yeah.
It's about the love. Yeah.
Yeah. You're
I mean, I'm
experiencing that oneness,
crying.
that collective energy.
We're all crying sometimes in those water ceremonies when it's over, and like, yeah, it's beyond ourselves when we come and dry fast together.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. No, it is. It's so cool, and it's incredibly moving because for me, it's like not that we need that validation or anything like that, but to know that it is safe to be feeling because everyone is feeling something and we're being honest about it, right? There is a
Yeah,
certain level of integrity and honesty in a group like that, in a focused kind of collection and group, and especially when you've got so many people that are just kind of wanting to share how they can help as well. You've got workshops running through this whole 3.5 days, right? And they're all there specifically to help everyone, find the best of themselves, right?
yeah,
Through one another, right? And through this kind of beautiful swirling pot of,
yeah. It's definitely about like
consciousness.
It's
It's
definitely about
love.
practice. Like
Mm,
people, like one of the things that I like about the ashram is that the priority is on the practices together. So
mm,
like we all like wake up in the morning at 3 a.m., and some people who have done ashram life, they know that. And I think that the intent with the Pranic Feast is not necessarily just to it's to bring the ashram with you in a
yeah,
way. So like no matter where you are in the world, you can join the website, you can join online, and
mm,
maybe you can travel. And even when you're traveling, you can still do it.
yeah,
So the idea is to like bring those practice in your life and keep doing them every day. That's the nourishment. That's
yeah.
not the food. Like now, even with my dad, like he was eating earlier, and it's like I'm trying to have this social moment with him, but I just can care less about food now. I care more about practices. So I'm not saying like we're gonna give up all the food forever, but like, what if more people were like coming together to enjoy some practice, some sun
Yeah.
gazing, some painting, some
Oh,
dancing? Why not?
I love
Like, why
sun
do we have to
gazing.
talk about food all
Mm.
the time? Like, why do we have to like, and then we don't like ourselves because our stomach is full, or
Yeah.
whatever. This is weird,
It's and it's so funny because I've like friends and family members that are like, oh hey, let's go for lunch or hey, let's go for a coffee or something. I'm like, why don't we just go and be? Like, let's not focus it around going for somewhere because I don't really want to eat. Like, I don't really want to eat out anywhere. I don't really want to do any of that. But I'd love to spend time with you. I'd love to like connect with you and let's do something really like
Yeah, yeah,
fruitful. And they're like, hmm.
yeah.
Okay, we're in a transition moment here.
It's not for everybody, that's for
No.
sure. It's not something for everybody. And that's also like one of the thing about this path is that it's the path of compassion.
Yeah.
So the idea for me is not to like look
Mm,
down on anyone else
mm,
that's not called by that,
no.
but instead just like learn how to accept that
Yeah.
this is the path you want to take and you're respecting everybody's path and everybody's
Mm.
perfect anyway. So it's not really like a,
Exactly. Everybody
yeah,
is perfect anyways. Exactly, right? And
yeah.
when we see another, regardless as to what they're doing, where they're at, and you just kind of see them. You just see them. It's just like you just see them, right? Presence and just heart to heart.
Yeah.
And yeah, when you, I find personally that when I've gone through a pranic feast, because I've only done two now, right, of the long weekends, but when I've gone through those because of the breakdowns I've had within myself, where I've allowed the walls of my mind to crumble, the
Mm.
judgments that will come up in that weekend, I'm sat with them and I get to show and shine such compassion onto myself, right? That then afterwards, the relationships that we have, they only expand, right? They only get surrounded and filled with love, right?
Mm.
Because there is this inner knowing and recognition that, as you've said in this video, what's the point? There's no meaning to any of this other than to really kind of like be
It
and
has
feel
to be,
and
yeah, but
yeah.
it has to really be seen from a positive light,
Yeah. Oh, it
because
is,
it's very
right?
important that, yeah,
Mm.
it's just like the way I saw it for me was just like
Oh.
with other medicine and other things, but
Mm.
there's no one to protect yourself from,
Yes. There's
and there's nothing.
exactly.
You're home already, so it's not like there's nothing or
You're
there's
home
something or whatever.
already.
Yeah, we got to be cautious with those words because some people just don't
Well,
really.
some people like having something to be afraid of, right? Some
Oh,
people have
really?
defined their purpose around that, no? Right?
Yeah.
So, but when we start to really realize, oh, hold on, we don't need to be running from anyone. We don't need to be, filling ourselves so full of something from a scarcity or lack perspective because we think that it may get taken from us. That's not going to happen. We have more than what we need already if we just recognize that, right? I don't
It's
know.
all there.
It
It's
is
all
all there.
there.
Yeah.
Like we're looking for something that's not like here. It's so
Mm.
weird. Like always looking for like a problem when there's no problem.
Ah, exactly, exactly. But
So if
then
you want
again,
to say,
you're
if you
gonna
want
find what
to
you
say,
look for, eh?
yeah. I was gonna say, if you really want to like save the world or like do something like that, I think PRANIC Feast is perfect to save the world. Because I
Yeah.
think to save anything is yourself first.
Yes.
First, like just trying to like making sure you're not hurting more outside. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Because we're going to project anyway, right? That's the nature of currently, that's the nature of most people is to project out. And whether that's good or whether that's wounded, it's going to mirror outwards, right? You know, we see through our lens.
for
So if
what you
we've got
said.
this, yeah,
Yeah,
if we
the
see through a
projection.
lens of love, that's what we project is
That's what you
love.
project.
That's what
And
we
if you are
see and
if
receive.
you're wounded, you project that too. Right.
Yeah,
That's so, yeah.
yeah. This is so much fun.
So this is about joy. This pranic feast. It's really
This
not about
is.
like competition or trying to like get better than someone else. Or this is really about like just discovering how just blissful you can be. No
Oh,
food, no food and no water. Like just dancing and I'm excited for it.
the pranic feast that we just had last time, I don't think I've ever felt so joyful and so, like so inexplicably joyful. I just like had this smile and this like laughter coming from me. Like it was just beautiful. And it wasn't like over the top or anything. It was just kind of like genuine like awe and wonder. It was like everything was like super high definition, technicolor beauty, you know? And I was like,
Did you like started like juicing or not yet? Did you?
I'm on watermelon and grape today.
Okay, but you did started juicing or not yet
Not
for the
properly,
feast.
no. Not properly
Okay,
yet. No,
well
no.
start because you're gonna see like it's been a week for me that I started
Yeah.
juicing, and like already I'm feeling like so good because it's like there's no. I really feel amazing. It's great. Like thank you, Camila, for that, and like I'm
Yes.
excited because I'm going more and more into the juice. Like
Oh,
it's
love.
gonna be so easy when you can start juicing like a week before and you go into the feast. It's so much more like easy to get through it and not even get through it. It's just like you don't have the same sensation. You're
Yeah.
like so present, you're open, you're ready to play. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So just for anyone watching who kind of they like a little bit more detail or they like a little bit more preparation, Pranic Feast, we're starting that. It's the 8th to the 12th of July, but
yeah,
we on the website, the Pranic family website, there's a 14-day free trial, right, Fabi? A
yeah.
14-day trial. And the wonderful Camilla is already running a juicing preparation thing because I mean, sure, you can go into the pranic feast without doing any of that, but we wouldn't recommend it. If you want
No,
to
yeah.
prepare your body and prepare your mind, Camilla's already running a juicing challenge, you could call it, I guess. I don't know, just kind of like a
The
health
juicy
and
life.
rest. It's a
She,
juicy life,
it's
yeah.
a juicy life.
Yeah, it's a juicy life just to really start the process for you and for you to realize how easy it is actually to
Yeah.
make a shift like that because sometimes we can think oh my gosh, I can't just change my diet, and it's like no, 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 you're not actually having to really do anything other than
I mean, most of the
enjoy.
people, I have to say that to everybody
Yeah.
because like some people are asking me questions. I know
Oh,
it's
what are they
horrible.
asking?
I am not judging
Yeah.
anybody, but I'll say it clearly to everybody. Most of the things that are being shared to me are just your mind tricking.
Yeah.
That's the funny part. It's just like, oh, I'm busy, I'm doing that. Oh no, I can't because I got this. Oh no, I got that. This is
Yeah.
just the mind. The mind will try to make you scared before it happens.
It does. It does. Yeah.
But there's nothing to fear, really. Like, there's nothing to fear. This is one of the things you can realize in those 3 days.
Yeah.
You're at home with mama. Like, mama is here to take care of you. You're basically bringing your body back to the maker. Like,
Yeah.
the, the real maker of this body is the mother, the nature.
Yeah.
And so, just,
And she always looks after her child, you know?
yeah, you're
You're
breathing.
always looked
Yeah.
after.
Why would you worry about it? Like, no one is breathing, really. Like, no one knows how to breathe, like, how to make this thing work.
Yeah.
Why would
You're not
anybody want?
physically taking the oxygen molecules out of the air and just
Yeah,
going, I'm just gonna relocate those here and hold on, I need a little bit more extra oxygen on this side of my body today. And no, it's just
yeah,
your body is of the earth and you're automatically doing it because it knows how, right? It knows how. So when we
yeah,
surrender to knowing how, when we surrender ourselves to this beautiful experience, oh my gosh, we show ourselves, we experience,
yeah.
right?
And
We
there's a
get to
moment.
practice that.
There might be a moment for many people, which is
Mm.
beautiful. It happens sometimes where you really have to surrender, and
Yes.
it's a moment where
Mm.
it's transforming. It's life changing because when you start surrendering your story,
Yeah,
your
that's it.
body,
Start
back to its
surrendering the
maker,
story.
and that's it. Yeah, this is it. Then it's like you trust again. You know, because I think most people might have done that. They just lost their trust,
Mm.
and they're creating so many protection
Oh
because they
yeah, for
don't trust
sure.
anything.
And then you can, if you let the mind spiral, it will do. But oh my gosh, I know for me, like especially the first one, I had that moment on day two and day three, the first pranic feast I did. And when I actually did surrender, oh my gosh, it was like this big tidal wave of relief and just it just swept over
Yeah,
me. And I was like, oh wow, I can't even articulate what it feels like because it's like nothing I'd ever experienced in this waking life before, you know?
mm,
It was just me, myself, and I, and the elements, right? And yeah, it was powerful. So,
mm.
how's the sun
Okay.
gazing going? Is the sun still
Oh no, it's over
shining?
now. It's been it's been over for like 30 minutes, and I'm like, oh, can you come back up? Come on, come back up.
I love it. I was like watching vicariously through your screen. I was like, oh yes, there's some beautiful yellow, golden, orange light upon you there.
Yeah, and now
Yeah.
it's like it's going to be like the moment where we say hello, Shiva. It's like
Yeah.
now you bow down to the darkness. When the darkness arrives, you bow down to it
Hmm.
and you welcome the void.
Yeah. I love that void. I'm a fan of that void.
Oh, yeah, everybody loves it. Like we all go to sleep, right?
Most do, some don't, as you know.
What?
As that some don't, as you know, as you've interviewed. Yeah, but no, wonderful. So have a little look, you guys. If you're watching this, if you are new to me or new to Fabi, do jump on the page, give it a like and follow the posts that Fabi and Cam are putting on the Pranic Family Instagram and have a look at pranicfamily.com. Just have a look at the incredible platform, this hub of connection that has been
Yeah,
created, right, for everyone. Have a look
yeah,
at the vast array of avenues of spirituality, of pranic living, of everything and anything, of the individuality and uniqueness of each of us coming together,
yeah.
right, in
But
this
we don't
space.
we don't
Oh,
have a bathroom. There's no bathroom on the website.
there's no bathroom. There's no
Yeah,
bathroom, so we can't take a communal meditative shit.
no. So you have to go to the bathroom if you really want to experience the spiritual like
Yeah, make
nirvana.
sure you do that. If you don't know what joke we're talking about, you got to watch back 30 minutes because that was the
Yeah.
funniest part. Titling it that on YouTube. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. But yes, I will see you all. I mean, I know, Fabi, I'm going to see you beforehand. We do weekly drive fest on a Sunday, hey? So if you want to give yourself a little 24-hour kind of, let's just see how this goes, and you might not have ever done a drive fast before. Obviously, Pranic Feast is very different in some
Yeah.
senses, but follow the page, have a go at that this Sunday, right?
Yeah.
We'll see you there, and um, try out the Planic Feast. You don't have to say, I'm gonna hold myself to the 4 days or 3.5 days or whatever. You do whatever you're called to do, but just see and surprise yourself because let me tell you now,
Yeah.
you will blow the walls that you've created that have trapped you in there. You will blow those walls right out and you will discover a whole new, heightened, aligned, but grounded and humbled, full of compassion, love, and unity you. And it's just beautiful. So,
And you have so many people that are here to love you. It's like actually
yeah.
that's the scariest part is to
Yeah,
be
no, it
loved
is,
by
eh?
so many people.
Oh, it's true. It's true. With no agenda. Literally, no
Yeah.
agenda there.
is
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
So I'll see you
Okay.
there.
I'll see you there. Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much,
much.
Fabi.
Bye
I'll
bye,
speak to
Alice.
you soon. Mwah.
Yeah,
Bye,
bye.
love.